Hi everyone, it's me Leslie here with another video. Thank you so much for watching my video and thank you so much for subscribing. Today I'm doing a storytime discussion to talk a little bit about protecting our children and self-objectification. So recently I was driving and I had my two beautiful girls in the back of the car. As some of you know, I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. And on the car we have these this obscuring film. I forget what it's called. It's like a protective covering for the window. It makes it so it's not so bright from the sun, but it also makes it so that other people can't necessarily easily look at your children. And so I have those things on the windows in the back. And so now that the girls are getting a little bit older, sometimes I let them take the little coverings off, protective coverings off the window, and I'll let them roll the windows down a little bit so they can enjoy the fresh air. And so we do that more often than not these days. And just the other day, my 7-year-old had her window rolled down and she all of a sudden became scared and she said, "Mama, can I please roll my window back up and put my covering back on?" And I said, "What's going on?" And she said, some creepy old bald man was looking at me through my window. And I said, of course. We rolled up the window. She put her little covering back on the window, and we talked about it. We talked about it in the car with my husband, myself, and our two girls. And I said, sometimes people can be bad people, and you need to make sure you did what you did, and you need to tell mom and dad what happened so that we can act accordingly. And I'm sharing this because I know that there are perverts out there and freaks, and I do what I can to protect our girls from the perverts and freaks. But of course, I can't do everything at all times. And I feel really badly that I took the protective covering off the window. I know this is an extra precaution, but because there are these perverts and freaks out there, I just want to do what I can to protect our girls from these weirdo freaks that look at young kids in a manner that they shouldn't. And with that being said, it brings me to young girls, young ladies. Today I was out and about and I saw a family. It looked like a mom and dad and say a teenage daughter and maybe a preteen son. And sometimes I personally get bothered when I see parents with their children, and the girl will be wearing something really provocative, especially for the age, and the young boy will be wearing a loose-fitting t-shirt and some long shorts or something, or baggy pants or something like that. But the young girl will be wearing a short skirt or really revealing shorts, or even a bikini top I've seen in the grocery store with the parents around. And I was very disturbed to see a mom and dad and a teen wearing such provocative clothing, and her younger brother wearing something that was so loose-fitting and covered up. I genuinely want to ask the question, parents, to some of the parents, what are we doing? What are we doing where we are putting our young girls on display for these perverts, weirdos, and freaks? I know I don't even know how to ask this or say this, but it needs to be said. We really need to reconsider the way we're raising our children, because I personally have been noticing a lot of young girls will look really provocative, especially compared to the boys. The boys will be wearing loose-fitted shirts and loose-fitting shorts that go almost to their knees or even past their knees, while young girls will be wearing shorts that sometimes even reveal the bottom, the butt cheeks, and then their midriff. The boys are all covered up, and some of these girls are being so exposed, and I'm just wondering, why is that? Is it because we want to show that the females are free to wear what they want? Or is it the lack of thought that's going into what we are portraying to the world? Just some food for thought. It is good to teach our children about modesty and humility, female or male. While our children are young, it is so important to teach them a little bit of modesty with their appearance and how to dress in the different seasons. Our children are precious. Our children are innocent. And it is important to remember that even though we don't personally see them, their bodies in a sexual way, it's important for us to remember there are these perverts and weirdos and freaks, and I can't express those words enough. There are perverts and freaks out there, and the last thing we should want to do is have our children out there exposed for these weirdos and psychopaths. The least that we can do is have them dressing with a little bit more modesty. They don't have to look like nuns. They don't have to wear dresses down to their ankles. But haven't we gone a little bit too far with how much we are willing to expose our children? Is nothing sacred anymore? What I do know is I can't control what my kids do when they're 18 and older. But what I will do is, while they are living in my house, I will show them that women, we ladies, we don't have to show everyone what we've got. Yes, there is male objectification, and these days we think that we are taking the power back. But some of this power has turned into self-objectification, putting ourselves on display for everybody to look at and scrutinize. Everybody doesn't deserve to see what we have to offer. And it's not about confidence. It's about realizing that everybody doesn't deserve to see what we have. It's called modesty. It's called having a little bit of humility and self-awareness. Instead, I'm seeing, in my opinion, a lot of self-objectification from some women, some ladies, putting everything out there for everyone to scrutinize and judge. It's not everybody's business. Everybody doesn't deserve to see our treasure. And especially for these young kids, teenagers, preteens, little kids, we have to protect them. We have to protect them as much as we can from these freaks, weirdos, and pervs. They are out there. We got to be honest about this. And the least we can do is have them wear something more age appropriate. And if we don't want our boys walking around, say with tiny little tight shorts on, and maybe say a short top, a cut-off top, why are we putting this on our young kids? Why are our boys walking around more covered up than our little girls? Let's let them be kids. Let's let them, dress in things that aren't bringing attention to their sexuality. And it's not about me, it's about protecting them and also giving them some kind of guidelines for the future. Bring our country back, the United States, bring us back a little bit to a more modest culture, a culture that does look like we have some kind of values and standards with the way we present ourselves. I get it. I'm one person with this opinion, and I do feel strongly about my opinions, and yes, they are my opinions. All I can do is what I can do for myself and my family. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but I am trying to say, please keep in mind that we are not living in the safest of world. We're not living in the safest of worlds. We just aren't. And it's important to have some kind of safeguards there to protect our children. And it's not just about, letting them wear, whatever, and then, if they look at me wrong, they'll suffer the consequence. Why not just try to teach them a little bit of modesty and age-appropriate clothing? And then when they become adults, of course, they can make up their own mind. But I do feel like we need a redirection in what we are doing and how we're representing ourselves as females, how we're putting ourselves out there. I mean, really, is this what we want to do? Butt cheeks out, everything on display, self-objectification. Is this really what we want? All these people, they don't deserve to see everything we've got. They really don't. This is our bodies are sacred. Our bodies are special. Everybody doesn't deserve to see what we have. And so that's where I'll end this video today. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye.